Hello, and welcome to this edition of All About Hopkinton, the original HCAM series created to bring you the people and organizations that help make our community the great place that it is. Sitting in for Mary Arnott, I'm Jim Cousins. Now, there are a lot of groups out there and a lot of people dedicating their time, energy, and talents to improve some aspect of life in Hopkinton. I am privileged to be sitting here, talking with them, and sharing their stories with you. Joining me today is Kniss, a fundraising coordinator for the MDA. Jenny, thank you very much for coming on our show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so we will get to the MDA and what you do, but I'm interested to know where you grew up and what you studied in school.
All right, I grew up right next door in Ashland, and I now live in Milford, so on the other side of Hopkinton. I went to Eastern Connecticut State University, and I majored in sociology.
Okay.
With the plan to be a pediatric oncology social worker.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the plan for a while, and then I changed paths and decided that I was going to go into sales with the hopes to eventually open my own nonprofit bakery of some sort. So I did that. I didn't open the bakery. I went into the sales aspect of it, and I was an outside sales representative for Unicor Packaging Group. Great company, but no passion behind what I was doing. So I decided to make a change, and then I ended up as a fundraising coordinator with the MDA.
All right. So did you say a nonprofit bakery?
Yes.
Now, what would make a bakery nonprofit?
I had this whole plan of it was either going to be nonprofit or charitable. I wasn't exactly sure. It's still in the back of my head. It might happen down the road eventually. And I can't tell you too much about it because then you could steal it and open your own nonprofit bakery.
I understand.
But the plan was for people to be able to donate to different types of charities. A portion of whatever they bought would go towards whatever charity they chose.
I get you. I get you. So what do you like to bake?
That's the thing. I'm not really a great baker, so I'm not really sure why I went with the bakery idea in my head. So then I've gone back and forth on like a salad shop, and
I see.
It's a very vague idea floating around in my head, very far down the road.
Right. So. But it's very interesting that, you know, coming from an idea like that, you're working for the MDA.
Yep.
So, and you're a sociology major.
Yep.
Now, I understand psychology, so what is sociology?
So sociology, very similar to psychology, except it's the study of groups of people versus individuals.
Oh, okay. All right. Did you always want to do that from when you were a kid, or as you grew up, did you? Like, in the pediatric oncologist, I'm sorry, what was that? Pediatric
oncologist, yep.
Okay.
And pediatric oncologist social worker, excuse me. That was the plan. So I, from senior year of high school, began volunteering at a camp called Camp Sunshine, which is a camp for children with life-threatening illnesses in Maine.
Okay.
And I've done that for 6 or 7 years now. This is actually the first year that I am not making it back, unfortunately. But I will be back next year. But yeah, so that really connected me with wanting to work with children with cancer or other diseases. And I mean, when I was 10 years old, my best friend and I were baking muffins and walking around our neighborhood with a little basket that said, help the homeless, and we were selling muffins in our neighborhood. Okay. So I've just always liked doing that kind of thing. And
Jenny, I'm seeing a real strong theme here.
Yeah, exactly, yep.
Now, how did you find out about Camp Sunshine in Maine?
My college roommate, I went to Worcester State University now for 1 semester and then transferred out, and my college roommate had told me about it, and I just knew it was something I had to do, and I did it, and I fell in love with it.
I see. And what do you do there?
You basically, it's a week long. They have different sessions throughout the year. You go and you volunteer for a week. They do have weekend sessions as well. And you're basically a camp counselor for the week. And the cool thing about it is that it's not only the child who's sick that comes, their whole family comes and their siblings too.
Oh.
So their siblings get attention that they don't necessarily get at home when they have a sibling who's going through something like this. And their parents get to kind of have some time without the kids and having other people take responsibility for them.
Right.
And it's just a week of fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds like really, really a great thing to be doing.
Yeah. It's a
So
great
do you take
experience.
like a vacation week and you spend it up there?
So that's what I was doing. Unfortunately, this year I don't have enough vacation time because I'm getting married in a couple of months.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So that's the only reason that I can't make it back this year. But next year I will be taking a vacation week to go back.
I see. Wow. So that's really, really impressive. So now, with this kind of background, I can really see why you moved from sales to the MDA.
Yeah.
And what does MDA stand for?
Muscular Dystrophy Association.
Okay. All right. And so I know they've been around for a while, and you're the fundraising coordinator?
I'm one of 3 fundraising coordinators in our Massachusetts office.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. And where is that? Where's that located?
In Westboro, Mass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you do? Like, what's your day-to-day kind of operations there?
Every day is different. It really depends on the season. So right now, our biggest program that we have going on is our Fill the Boot program. So the International Association of Firefighters is one of MDA's largest partners. So I want to say I have about 45 fire departments that I work with. And they go out in the streets with their boots and they stand out there and they collect money. And overall, they've collected over $500 million for MDA.
Wow. Now, of course, I've seen that in action, but how do you coordinate 45 towns? Do they go in a wave? Do you have certain days that they sign up? How does that work?
So it's a lot of traveling.
Okay.
So after I leave here, I'll be going to, gosh, I can't even remember. I'll be going to Berlin and Bolton and then the Rutland area. So kind of all over Massachusetts. And I go, and it's difficult with firefighters because they work 8 days a month. So trying to schedule a time where you can see them can sometimes be challenging. So whenever you find out they're there, you take that opportunity and you drive out there and you meet with them and you talk to them about days in which would work for them and their other firefighters. And you schedule it, and then you bring them out all of their supplies, and they're all covered under our insurance, and we make a safety plan for each one of them because that's our number one priority is that they're safe.
What kind of supplies did they have other than their boots, which I would assume, I mean, you don't bring boots, do you?
No, they supply their boots.
Okay.
So we bring them out caution signs and stickers to give everyone who donates, and they also get T-shirts.
I see.
And we give them banners for their trucks, and most of them park their trucks out there with their lights on. And
Oh, that's really cool. Now, is there any type of informational component as you're talking to them? Do you give them any type of information about I don't know, what the MDA does or how to interact or anything like that?
So if it's a department that hasn't filled before, if it's a department that has filled before, for the most part, they've been doing it for quite some time and they know the drill. And a lot of them have had the opportunity to connect with local families that are affected by muscular dystrophy or ALS or one of the other 41 neuromuscular diseases that MDA covers. So they've built those connections with families and they know why they're doing this and they're passionate about it and most of them love it. I mean, some of the firefighters I work with tell me that it's their favorite day of the year.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. So is it random based on the town and when the firefighters are there that they actually run that event?
It always kind of was around a Labor Day type of thing, but that's kind of changed. We have departments that go out really from April through November.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of whenever works for them and whenever they can get the most guys, because a lot of them are volunteering to come out and do this, which is extra special, and we really appreciate our firefighters.
Yeah, yeah. Now, do you get involved in like where are they set up, where the locations are? Is it kind of concentrated? Are they spread out? I'm just curious.
So it depends like on the town. When Framingham did it recently, they went out, I want to say, in 5 different locations. We always try and do it somewhere where there is an intersection with lights so that it's safe for them, so they only go out when the light is red.
Yep.
And situations like that, and always areas with less than 45-mile-per-hour speed limits.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, would you say this is one of the larger fundraising events for your organization?
Yes, this is definitely one of our biggest events, but we have some other great events coming up too.
Yeah, we'll talk about those too. So, so you mentioned 41 diseases that the MDA covers. So you're a nonprofit organization, and you're running fundraisers, and you're running boot days, and you're collecting money. What happens to that? Where does it go, and how does it work?
Everything can be specified for a specific thing. So for example, we have our muscle walk that just happened in May and will be happening again next year. And when a team signs up to fundraise, they can choose for that money to go towards a specific disease to fund that research. And then we also do other events that are specific to certain types of neuromuscular diseases.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of goes in many different ways. We also have clinics or care centers that we're now calling them. We have 7 care centers in Massachusetts that we fund, and those are really an amazing thing. We have them at Children's and Brigham Women's and Mass General and UMass, and basically someone, if they're registered with MDA, they can go to this care center and see every doctor under the sun that you can think of in one visit.
Oh, really?
So that takes a lot off of the family, whether it's a dermatologist, a neurologist, any doctor you can think of, all in that one visit.
Right, right. So, so the first part, so research center, you said there are 7 research centers in Massachusetts?
Care centers.
Care centers in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So does money go for research on these diseases and going for caring for patients?
Yep. So our office in Massachusetts alone in the past 9 years has funded $49 million in ALS research.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah, so there's a lot of money that in research that we fund out of our office alone, and we serve over 2,500 families in Massachusetts.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
So is the Westboro office the main office for Massachusetts?
Yep, it's our only office.
The only office, so
yep.
It's HQ Central.
Yep.
Okay. How big is the office? How many people working there roughly?
There's probably about 12 of us, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, no kidding.
Small office.
Yeah, but a big impact.
Yes, very much so.
So you've been there for several months now.
Yep.
And how are you liking it?
I love it. It was the best decision I've made. I never feel like I'm working. I'm very passionate about what I do. I also, my grandmother had one of the diseases that we cover, and it was a rare situation where it just went away. She was very lucky.
Wow.
But we are the leading organization in funding research for that disease, and one of my best friends, who's actually one of my bridesmaids, also has that disease.
Really?
Yeah, so I feel like I'm hopefully helping kick that disease in the butt every day, so.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's talk about, as you're the fundraising coordinator, let's talk about some of the fundraising activities that the MDA sponsors. We got the boot. What else do you guys do?
So we have our Halloween Witch Ride coming up on October 9th.
Okay.
And that's in Revere, Mass. That's where it begins, at the Boston Harley-Davidson. And if anybody wants to learn more about it, you can go to mdawitchride.com.
Okay.
And it's a motorcycle ride.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, and there's about 4,000 people that come to this, so it's a pretty big event.
That's a big motorcycle ride.
So it goes from Revere to Salem.
Okay.
And it's a pretty big event, and it's hosted or sponsored by the Boston Hog Chapter. I hope I'm going to get their number right. I want to say 3099. Sorry if I got that wrong, guys.
People will be understanding. So is that a weekend thing?
So it's on a Sunday. I believe it's October 9th. I think that's a Sunday.
Okay.
So it's Columbus Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a ton of fun. There's a bunch of vendors. You can get food, and everybody dresses up, or most people dress up. It's a Halloween ride in costumes, and then kickstands go up at noon, and they take off in their dressed up outfits on motorcycles and do, I think it's about a 17-mile ride.
Wow. So I mean, it's maybe kind of a stupid question, but like you have to be a motorcycle rider, and you bring a motorcycle and you participate?
You can come and basically, you can fundraise for any of our events.
Okay.
And we have options, Ride to Give option, where you can sign up online, and then you basically have your own fundraising page.
Okay. All right. So it's like you would get a sponsor, people to donate to your organization sponsoring your ride.
So you can do that, or you can just sign up and pay a registration fee.
Okay.
So there's both options. We would love for more people to do the Ride to Give option, because obviously there's the opportunity for them to bring in way more money for the event.
Right.
And then their registration is free, if they raise a certain amount. So.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But anybody can come and hang out and go to the vendors, and there's going to be massage therapists there, and tons of different food vendors, and a haunted house vendor. So our sponsor.
Cool. October 19th?
9th. October 9th.
Okay. I want to get that wrong. October 9th. All right. So that's a cool one.
Yeah.
What else is coming up?
Then we also have our Black and Blue Ball on November 9th, which is going to be at the Doubletree in Westboro.
Okay.
And that is basically a fancy, fun dinner event, and that's specifically to fund ALS research. And we used to do a similar event years ago called Evening of Hope. But we're changing the theme this year, and we're bringing it back, and there's going to be a silent auction and a DJ and delicious food. So we're always looking for more committee members to come on board with that and help us out in bringing in more sponsors and selling tickets, and that'll be a great event too.
Cool. And of course, we'll have your contact information up at the end of the show.
Great.
So why black and blue? I don't know. Does that mean something?
So that originated, MDA has a massive black and blue ball that happens in Milwaukee that raises over $1 million. And one of their biggest sponsors with that is Harley Davidson. So the black and blue theme kind of comes in with black being the leather, and then blue being jeans, and just kind of, you can come after work in your tux, I don't know who goes to work in a tux, but in your suit. Or you can come in jeans. It's kind of just, you can mix different people, come however you wish, and just kind of they originated with the Harley Davidson theme, so we're kind of going that route. Not as much leathery, but you can come in whatever you choose.
Yeah.
So.
Do you know, is this the first one, or has it?
This is the first one in Massachusetts to happen.
Okay.
So
I know that you haven't been there for a year yet, so you haven't been through like a full cycle.
Yeah.
But do you know of any other events that they typically do?
So we have Muscle Team, which, to be honest, I don't know too much about yet, but it is one of our largest events. And then we have our Muscle Walk, which just happened in May, which will be happening again next year, which is such a fun, great day. And what else? So we have our Shamrock program, where if you go to Lowe's or Price Chopper or similar stores like that that have partnered with us, and you go to check out and they ask you if you want to buy a Shamrock, say yes. And that money goes to MDA. So we do that all in Massachusetts as well.
Okay. All right. So clearly, right, you've got about 12 people, I think you said that, working in the office, but there are tons of people who are associated and volunteering and riding and working at these things. As the fundraising coordinator, I'm just curious as to what level, like, do you talk to these people and help them, or are you like organizing something and setting it up, and then how does that go?
Combination.
Okay.
With the fire departments, I'm always working with the fire departments, trying to bring on new fire departments, and always looking to get more stores involved with selling shamrocks. So I'll go out and try and bring on new accounts like that.
Okay.
And then I'm assisting with the planning of the Halloween Witch Ride. I'm not the lead on the event, but I'm assisting the lead in that. And all of our big events like that, I'm always at day of, normally bright and early, helping set up and then clean up and helping with the whole process of making sure it goes smoothly.
And there are other fundraising coordinators in your office?
Yep, so there's 2 other fundraising coordinators who do basically exactly what I do. And then we have an area director who is in charge of more, some of our bigger events, like she's the lead on the Witch Ride and the Muscle Walk. And then we have our director of business development, who is the lead on Muscle Team, which is that big gala event that I don't know too much about. I wish I knew a little bit more about, to be honest. And he does some pretty big golf tournaments as well.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Wow. Is this year-round fundraising events all over the place?
Yes, yep. Year-round. We're always going.
Yeah.
There's never a time when we don't have some program going on.
Do you have like a big board where you just like have the year and you like show everything to keep track of it all?
Pretty much, yeah. I have big calendars in my office, and then I'm big on my whiteboards. I have a massive whiteboard in front of my office with all of my fire departments on it, all of the days in which they're going out. And I have another whiteboard with the list of each events that we have going on.
Oh, cool.
We also have our Hopathon that goes on towards Easter,
Okay.
which is with like kindergartens and preschools all in Massachusetts, and we give them literature, and then they teach their kids, their students, about children with disabilities, so that they're familiarizing them with that. And then they hop, essentially. Some people do it towards Easter, so they incorporate Easter and bunnies for a minute or so, and then they send the children home to their parents with these packets, and then they donate. So that's one of our programs that I run.
Oh, I see. Wow. There's so many things going on. Do you have like a publicity and promotions person to try to get the word out? How do you tell the public to get?
We have a Facebook page.
Okay.
And then we also have newsletters that we send out to all of our families. We're always trying to keep our families that are registered with us in the loop, so they know what's going on. They can participate in these events. But yeah, for the most part, and we send out mailings and stuff like that. And for like the Witch Ride and the Muscle Walk, we'll do billboards and that type of thing.
Oh, okay.
So,
wow.
yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So have you found, in your several months working there now, is there pretty much a set calendar of events, or do you guys sit around and say, like, what else could we come up with?
More just kind of trying to grow each of the events we have going on. I mean, there's definitely some new events that come up, like Milford Fire Department we're in the process of planning a softball tournament for next year. Yep. So I shouldn't say little, but events like that do come up here and there. Yep. But our really large scale events, we normally focus on trying to grow those.
Now, how did they come up with that idea? Did they approach you and say, "Oh, we'd like to have this too"? Because I mean, you're in Milford.
Yep. So yeah, this was actually one of the firefighters there. I don't know if I should say his name or not, so I probably just won't. Okay. But it was actually his idea. He approached me about it. One used to happen years ago, and it hasn't happened since. And he had a great time with it, and he wants to bring it back. And he's very organized, and he's got it all going himself, and I'm just kind of there to support him. So I have no doubts that he's going to put on a very successful and great softball tournament.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. You know, I'm like really grateful for what you do for these communities and for helping these people. And I'm also like really excited for you that you've really found where your passion lies, and you're in a job that's not a job. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
I know what that's like. That's really, really good.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank you very much for coming on our show today and sharing that story.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
All right. And thank you for joining us for this program and hearing about the MDA. For more information about their organization, check out their website. For more information concerning All About Hopkinton, find us on hcam.tv. If you or someone you know is having an impact on our community, we want to hear about it. Send us an email to jim@hcam.tv, and perhaps you'll find them sharing their story right here on All About Hopkinton. Sitting in for Mary Arnott, I'm Jim Cousins. Thank you for watching.
Do you have what it takes?
Will you make a difference?
Always an adventure.
Police and fire working together.
Utilizing the latest technology.
Do you have what it takes?
Just a minute, folks.
It's Dive-In Drive-In time, and we got a great Western for you today.
Dive-In Drive-In is a new program featuring the HCAM staff's favorite B movies. We hope you enjoy these treasured films of yesteryear.
Even if we don't get paid, there ain't no job we trade. We're hauling freight and safe to say no longer Santa Fe.
So check out the HCAM TV website at hcam.tv for movie days and showtimes.